Hey guys, welcome back to another art video. So this video is going to be an unboxing of, yes, I know, I got yet another oil pastel set. So this is actually the artist grade quality from Pentel. I've gotten a lot of comments lately asking me to review the Pentel oil pastels, but when I was doing some research on the brand, then I figured out that they do make artist quality ones, although they're not sold in the US, so you have to get them shipped all the way from Japan, which can take from like 3 to 8 weeks to ship, so you have to be kind of patient. Mine arrived in about 3.5 weeks, so it was pretty fairly decently priced, but I'm just hoping that the quality would be better than the regular ones, although I've never tested out the regular ones, so I have nothing to compare them to, but hopefully they'll be better. Alright, and it's packaged like this. It's a 50 set, although I believe there's only 48 colors and 2 whites. I like the box though, it feels really like smooth. Trying to figure out how to open this. It's really tightly packed. I think I'm gonna have to rip it a little bit. Okay. Alright, and here's the box. And I believe it should say, yeah, it says Japan on the side here. I'm not sure if that means it's made in Japan though. And here are the, oh my god, they're tiny! I was expecting, since they're artist grade quality, they would at least be bigger. And I've seen a lot of comments saying that the regular ones, the dirt cheap Pentel ones, are really tiny, but these are also really tiny, the artist grade quality. So that's kind of disappointing. They feel nice though. They feel like the Holbeins, which I'm kind of excited for. So this set I got for around $40, and you're getting 50 sticks, so for artist grade quality that's pretty good because you're paying less than $1 per stick, and all my other artist grade oil pastels I ended up paying more than $1 per stick. So let's just hope that these perform well. I'm gonna bring out my papers and test them out. And we're back with my 4 different test papers. The first one is Fabriano Ingres. The second one is Fabriano Roma, the third one is Royal Langnickel oil color paper, and the fourth one is the Sennelier oil pastel paper. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to choose a few different colors. Let's just try this light green first to test out the opacity. Wow, I really like how smooth they apply. They feel exactly like the Holbeins. This is really interesting. I wasn't expecting this. Alright, let's test out the opacity of the white one. And surprisingly, they have a similar smell to the Senneliers. The Senneliers, I mentioned earlier that they have sort of like a rubbery smell. These have a very similar rubbery smell, but I've seen a lot of people say that the cheaper Pentel ones smell like gasoline or petrol, so that's interesting. I love how creamy this white turned out. It's even more opaque than the Holbeins. I believe this was the Holbein. This was the Craypas? No, not the Craypas, the Caran d'Ache. So it's on par with the Caran d'Ache, and I think it might be even more opaque than the Sennelier. I'm not sure which one of these was a Sennelier though, so I'm gonna do like an oil pastel comparison later on in my channel, so keep a lookout for that, but not right now. I'm just focusing on testing these out. I really do like them. They apply really nice and smoothly. Let's try making a blend. So I'm gonna make a transition between these 3 lovely browns. I think I should start off with the darker color first. So this one feels a little bit harder. The others felt a little creamier. So they have the same like inconsistency in texture. And I kind of like that they're thin, because they're easier to handle when they're this thin. I really wasn't expecting to like them this much, but this is really awesome. Okay. And I love the opacity on the lighter colors. They do blend out, yeah, they do blend out. Pretty much the same way that Holbein's do. I'm finding a lot of similarities between these and the Holbeins. Probably because they're both made in Japan, so they probably have the same formula or something. But you're definitely getting more pigment in the stick if you buy Holbeins over these. Of course, these are more cheaper though. And before I conclude my video, I just wanted to do a really quick comparison between the Mungyo Artist Quality Oil Pastels versus the Pentel Artist Oil Pastels. So I did get these during like Cyber Monday, but I was unable to make a video on it because I didn't have my camera at the time. But now I do, and you guys are not going to believe how much I got this set for. I found a Cyber Monday deal where this whole set was $25 free shipping. And yeah, I know, I cannot justify it. I've been wanting to try these out for a while, so now I finally got the chance. And I did test out the quality before. Oh, sorry, this is just a swatch sheet. I did test out the quality before, and I kind of concluded that these feel like a combination of the Caran d'Ache and the Craypas. They're not that spreadable. That's why I found them to be sort of similar to the Craypas, but how they apply is really nice and creamy. That feels like Caran d'Ache, so that's why I gave them that review. And I just want to compare them to the Pentel oil pastels that I got today. Even though for this set I paid $40 and I only got 50 pastel sticks, whereas this one I got I forgot how many comes in here. I think it's like 98 or something. Oh, 72 colors. Sorry. It's 72 colors. So 72 colors for $25, that is a steal of a deal, but of course, like, you have to hunt for it. You're not going to find this deal everywhere. So obviously if I had the choice, I would definitely go for these. But let's go ahead and do a comparison between the two. Alright, so for the first test, I'm gonna try out the opacity of both oil pastels, both of their whites, and see which one is better. So here we have the Pentel white. And you're not going to see it on these lighter papers anyway, so just concentrate on the toned papers. Oh, that's interesting. So if you look here, you can see that the Pentel white has like a grayish undertone. I don't know if it's showing up on the camera, but it's a little bit tinted gray. Also on the Ingress paper, it's a little bit tinted gray, whereas the Mungyo oil pastel is a much brighter white, titanium white or something like that. So that's a really small difference between the two whites. And I was not expecting that. I was expecting the Pentels to perform better. And then again, I'm going to do a gradient. So here we're going to transition from a darker blue to a lighter aqua. I really, really like how these feel. These are going to be really awesome to work with. And I like how they have the paper covers. This is the one thing I wish Holbein incorporated in their oil pastels, because it just makes it easier and cleaner to use. Look, I have no like oil pastel, almost no, other than this finger that I use to blend. I have no oil pastel staining, whereas if I use Holbein, my whole hand gets stained with oil pastel, and it gets annoying. So I just wish they had that. So as you can see, just with a few strokes, the pigment blends like right away. This is pretty much how easy it is to blend the Sennelier and the Holbeins. It's just like instant blending as soon as you rub your finger over it. So let's see if the Mungios can hold up to that. So these are the best colors I could find in terms of similarity, getting them to be similar to the Holbeins. I mean the Pentels. Applying them feels very similar, I must say. So there's a very small difference when you're applying them and feeling the texture. And these ones, they do blend out, but you kind of have to give a little bit more pressure, because if I try to blend it out like softly with my finger, the pigment's not going much places, so you do need to apply a little bit more pressure. And then it'll start to blend. The same thing with the Holbeins, like if you apply more pressure, it'll start blending a little bit more. And there you go. So that concludes my unboxing review for the Pentel Artist Grade Oil Pastels, and a short comparison, although I'm sorry that really wasn't a good comparison, but do I recommend these? Yes, definitely. I do love the texture and how well they spread. Since they're very similar to Holbein, and it's impossible to find a Holbein set where you're paying less than $1 per stick, then I do recommend these. However, you are limited in terms of color selection. You only have 49 colors to choose from, whereas the Mungyo oil pastels, you have a whole bunch more variety of colors. So if I had to make a choice, I would go for these, but I do definitely recommend these. These are a good choice for an oil pastel. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you guys in my next video.